do not like these headphones and
Why do
how
I
they
have
do.
something in front of my face?
Well, it's that's
Okay.
what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tea Talk, a Global Vibe. I am your host, Tamori Richardson, and I'm here with the lovely Wanda Wallis with me here this weekend.
Thank you, your
She was with us
co-host.
last weekend. We had a great time as a co-host, and so we're gonna have. I feel like something is choking me.
It's probably
I
those
probably didn't have
big
to say that
earrings
live,
that
but it
you're
is what it
wearing.
is. It's
Okay.
big old earrings,
Yeah.
but that's how I roll.
She
Anyway,
went to the motherland and got them.
I
Okay.
did, and I'll do my dances for you later. But welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We are on Power 88.fm live.
Wearing our t-shirts.
We are wearing our t-shirts representing. And as usual, we are going to get into a lot of conversation about a lot of stuff. And it's a Saturday, a beautiful Saturday. So I hope you have plans with your family. But remember, this is the month of June, and we are doing our prize packages. And we're going to do it a little bit different this month than I had planned to. But we are giving away wonderful California State backpacks to do. I want you to email me at Tamori at power88.f to think of my email address. So it's TAMURI at power88.fm. And I want you to tell me why you and your family should get the tickets to the California State Fair, which is wonderful. We used to go all the time as a family to the State Fair, and we stopped on certain days when they were cutting up. But it's a completely different state fair now. It's just a beautiful event. They have a lot of musical acts and a lot of celebrities that come down. So you got to check it out. So remember, email me at Tamori at power88.fm. That's TAMURI at power. This, if you are really concerned about it and you don't want it here, then one of the loudmouth citizens should put together something and have California Forever. Don't have their peons come. Don't
Right.
have their ambassadors come, and have the head guy in charge come. Let the citizens listen and hold him accountable and say, listen, because here's the reality. They bought the land.
Right.
The land is bought. That's like me buying a house and you telling me I can't move in. I'm taking off my earrings and pulling my Vaseline out my purse. It's about to be on and popping. Okay, they've already bought the land. It's done. So what I would be saying, if I'm a citizen and I live in Sassoon and I can read and write and I know how many toes I have,
Mm-hmm.
I would be saying, so listen, let's stop whining and crying. They've already bought this. Now we need to talk to them about what we want for what you're coming in our area to do. They just like to complain. All this is complaining. Where's the action?
I I see it as, I don't know, it's a lot of frustration, and I think you're right. There are people that come out and go, but
We'll keep watching it and
maybe
maybe
they
we'll.
should just decide to just merge into Fairfield, you know.
Catboy will have a heart attack.
Well, she won't be there by then.
If there's a God. Anyway, I live in Vacaville. It ain't my business.
Oh.
All right, listen. So we'll come back. We'll be watching and monitoring it. We might get together, have a conversation. I like to ask hard questions, and you know me, I don't pull any punches. So we might have that conversation.
Send
And
your hate mail to tomorrow.
don't send nothing to me. It's going to the shredder. But on power88.fm, I want to thank you guys for continuing to watch us and listen to us. We're getting ready to take an ad break on power88.fm live, but YouTube, stay tuned. So let's talk about what's going on in the White House. I mean, I'd already called this, and let me be really clear.
You call somebody there?
No. I'd already called that there was going to be an Elon Musk and a President Trump breakup.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people called it. It's like anything. What is that expression? You can't have too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think that's kind of.
That could very well be, but just remember who we're talking about. Trump is a master of, you never know. That could
Yeah.
be one of those things where, because he would say all kinds of crazy stuff, knowing darn well it's not, but he'll get everybody all worked up and they
Yeah, I
go,
don't think
I'm
this
not
is
doing
it.
that.
Now, let me tell you, I
You
don't
think
think
they had a
this.
fight and he got a black eye?
Well, I don't think that. I don't think. Listen, I think they too rich to be hidden. First off, I don't
Yeah,
think nobody's doing
they're
that.
sending their bodyguards to fight.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And welcome back, Power 88.fm live. This is Tea Talk. I'm Tamori Richardson, your host on Tea Talk, a Global Vibe, with my co-host Wanda Wallis. I had been calling it, and I said, listen, you can't have too many head people.
Alpha.
You can't running the show, because somebody gonna want to take somebody's spot. And let's just be clear, it has already been documented that Elon Musk is diagnosed with a form of mental illness. They
Mm.
say autism. I don't believe that that's probably the only diagnosis, but I'm not his therapist. I do give people out diagnoses on a regular basis
I know.
as a certified
Look,
mental
look
health
behind
advocate.
us. Look at all of her degrees behind here, okay?
And that one particularly I received at the Institute, but nonetheless,
Shutter doors.
at Nobody University. However, I knew this was going to happen. Um, Elon Musk has a lot of attention seeking components in him, and what
I
I
think
can
that's what happens when you're super smart. You're on the edge of
I
being
well,
crazy.
that's if you think he's super smart. I don't.
Huh?
I don't think he's super smart. I think there's a lot of people that know how to do something, and
Yes.
he's done it well. He clearly knows business. I don't know how that makes you a genius. They say Kanye West is a genius. He's an idiot with an
Well, because
untreated mental
mental
illness.
illness has taken over his
It's it's
system.
it's obvious. So I don't agree with that. That's genius. So I mean, listen, if I pee in the toilet and not on the floor, am I a genius? Okay.
I better go check your bathroom.
You should, but I am a genius. I'll let you know. But anyway, so I felt like I knew
Oh,
that was going to happen. Then he's bringing his son in or whatever else. Tell me your
little
thoughts,
baby
Wanda.
X. I love baby X.
The one that was picking his nose and dropping boogers on the
Oh,
president's desk.
Lord.
Okay,
I
yeah,
love baby X.
yeah. Send her some letters.
He said, I like that day. He said, I was trained. I gotta go pee. And he left. Hey, he didn't do it in his pants in the
He
camera.
told President Trump that he wasn't the president.
Oh, really? I didn't miss that one.
I would have pulled off my belt. I
Oh,
would have pulled off my belt right
who's the
there.
president? Him? His daddy,
Well,
I
that's
guess.
conversations he's hearing at home. Give me your
Hmm.
perspective.
That right there, I would have had to say, Elon, come and get
Get this
this.
little booger picker out of here.
I would have had to say that. Now, you cute, but you ain't that cute.
Yeah. So I expected it to happen. It's people are laughing at it and thinking it's great entertainment. I don't think anything that makes us look bad as a
Hmm.
country. And how this could have been, and this is what I will credit the president to, is that he didn't make this a public fight.
Right.
And he didn't make this a dirty fight. Elon Musk made this completely dirty and ratcheted it up every second that he could.
Yeah, because I haven't heard anything back like rebuttals or anything. He just kind of
He
silent.
has not done what he's usually done, but he's probably tired. I mean, he's getting older, so
Hmm.
he's probably
Wait a
tired.
minute, you pick your battles, right?
Well, I mean, and when listen, I can tell you because I was married to somebody who was
You can't
bipolar
jump on to
disorder and
everything.
schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Listen, that fight won't ever stop. He'll be doing that fight because they got that extra bloop, 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 bloop. That fight will be going on for 85 years and a half.
Remember when he used to be on Twitter all the time with everybody when somebody
Oh,
said something?
yes.
Oh my God, he could do the best memes, couldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you'll be fighting for forever when you're fighting with somebody who's imbalanced. That fight will never stop because the person who's imbalanced is like the ever ready, what is the Energizer Bunny?
Uh-huh.
So anyway, so that was just interesting to watch and watching how the world is looking at it. Other worlds are looking at us. And the folks in Congress. Have you taken any time to look at this bill? Or did you look at Project 2025?
I didn't look at that one. I was going to bring up that other bill that they passed through Assembly,
Go ahead.
AB 942,
Is.
is on the solar. I believe
Okay,
that's,
okay.
yeah, because remember a few years ago, the governor,
We're back in
everybody,
Newsom country.
yeah, oh yeah, that's scumbag. Okay. Yeah, I said it. Okay. Uh, I always thought of him every time I saw him from years in San Francisco. If
Mhm.
anybody ever remembers the movie with Damien, what was that movie called? I don't care. Damien, and he took over the world, and it was like the end of the world with the Antichrist and stuff. He always reminds me of that. If anybody knows what that movie is, you look back at it, he comes out with the slick hair, the
Back when he was
nice.
doing good stuff in San Francisco, he reminded you of that?
He reminded me, I can see underneath that. You can
Girl,
see a
bye.
devil.
She
They
ain't
have
saw
auras
nothing.
on them.
She ain't
Hey,
saw
I
nothing.
did, because didn't it come true?
He was a cute, tall white man. You ain't seen nothing. Now keep
That's
it
what he was
going.
in the Omen. That's what
Whatever.
the Omen.
Whatever.
He was a cute white
AB
guy,
nine
every
forty
hair.
two.
But
AB nine
anyway,
forty two.
I went off track there. Pull me back, girl. Get the chain. Pull me back. Anyway, I believe that's the one. I need to check that. Look that up real quick. But anyway, it's a
Okay.
bill that
Boop, boop,
just
boop, boop, boop,
passed.
boop.
It just passed in assembly concerning solar. So we were told to get solar. Everybody was getting solar. All new home builders have to put a minimal amount of solar panels on on their houses that they build.
The new
So
ones.
yes, on
Okay.
all new ones. On the ones existing, they just wanted you to get it.
Okay, right.
So now we were getting all these credits, and people are getting low bills. And when you buy these, solar is not really inexpensive, because people spend up to $30,000 to get solar.
Mm-hmm.
So, but with that being said, if you decide to sell your home, you can transfer that solar. So if I sell my home, you can pick up the solar contract. Somebody has to pay for that solar contract. Either I have to pay it out, or I transfer that to you and you make the payments on it. Well, on the new one, now the whole point of that was to save us money. So now, why would they pass a bill that says now that we won't be getting all the credits, all the utility credits, that we can't transfer this directly to you with nothing? Now, you're going to have to start all over and pay not penalties, but pay fees
Mm-hmm.
and different things. Why is it? And the lobbyists for this are, guess who?
Mm-hmm.
They're the utility people.
Of course. Okay.
So they didn't want it, because now they see, ooh, we're losing money if everybody gets solar. And they can sell their solar too, because if you
Mm-hmm.
have enough solar, if you've got a spot where you can put a solar farm, you can sell that off. So why would they all do that? And our local assembly person voted to pass that too. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, votes to pass everything, so like that. But can we get some bills that really help a majority of the citizens? And I when I get on this too, how about those tax? I just saw that there's going to be another tax increase on gasoline. Wow.
Well, I mean, so here's two things. One, I don't have solar. I think solar is probably the best way to go, because nobody is making sure that, well, first off,
I have solar.
Peggy is killing us. I don't pay that much for my Peggy bill. That's peachy and some E. But it's here's the problem. I think everybody should get solar,
Yeah.
because I wasn't going to get it because my solar bill isn't terribly high.
You mean your regular bill?
Right, my regular bill isn't terribly high, but you could buy back and sell back the over the extra energy
Yes.
to your electricity company. So you have that benefit, and you don't have to worry about these. You pretty much set your own bill, and so your bill is exactly what your bill is, and so that makes a difference. Who is it now? Lisa Calderon is the assembly member.
That
What is she, Dem or Republican?
please. She's the one you know,
Is she a
wrote this bill.
Democrat?
She's a Democrat. She's the one that wrote this bill.
Wow.
So it's a net energy metering program.
Okay.
So she's the one, and I guess the people that didn't want to be seen with this bill, they didn't show up that day.
They said
That's
we're
what,
not going to say
so
we're ashamed, but yeah.
yeah, they
Okay.
didn't want their name on it. So they didn't show up. So basically, it went down party lines. A few Democrats opposed it, but most, it barely passed. So
Okay.
now it's got to go on to
Okay.
the next level, and
Well,
we'll see how it works there. It may not pass, it may be stopped. But when you start seeing your representatives not showing up for votes, that means they didn't want you to know what they really thought.
well, listen, I think people.
Allegedly.
I think if people can get solar right, then
Exactly. They should get credit for it.
they should get solar and they should be able to get credit for it because allowing these utility companies, just for example, PG&E, who's consistently hike raking and their employees make an astronomical amount of money to
Hmm.
do nothing. Like I called them for an emergency for my hot water heater. The guy was here for 2 seconds. He probably made $500. He was here literally for like no. He's like, no, you gotta get a new one.
Yep.
And I
That's
expected him to come in here and do some MacGyver stuff and pull a hairpin out and a clip out and start putting some stuff together, bring out a
she
blowtorch
asked way
and
too
getting it
much.
to.
Okay.
I did. And so I think we need to have better, things in place where these companies are not getting rich off the back of
Well, and
people.
every time they get caught doing something, we have to pay for it. They're fined, $15 million, which is nothing. But
Hmm.
who's got to pay for that?
Yeah, well, they're going to put it in our rates somehow, probably. But what do you think about the California State Commissioner, Laura?
What about it?
What do you think about him? Our insurance rates
Oh,
have the
the
insurance
missing.
commissioner.
I don't even know what he looks like.
Yeah, I've seen a picture of him.
Okay, that's about it. Huh?
Yeah.
Nobody's seen him
Hmm.
live, right?
Well, he's missing out on hearings and things of that nature. This is why so much is going on. Like
Should we
this,
go stake out his house?
you go ahead. I will not be.
What? Anybody want to do that?
That is Wanda. I will not
We'll
be.
take signs and go,
No,
is he
and by
really
we,
alive?
she.
We'll take a sign. Is he alive? Show your face.
But this is what I think. This is why people are so engrossed in the federal government. And yeah, we do need to know what's going on at the higher powers. We do need to know the policies that are going on. But they're so disengaged from life and complain. You don't know who you're voting for. You don't know why you're voting. You don't know what's a benefit, what is a harm. They don't know anything. It is astonishing to me that people are still walking and breathing on this earth. How would he not be under recall right now? They've tried to recall Newsom for the dumbest stuff 18 million times that you're not going to be able to do. They've tried to
Because
recall.
nobody thinks about that. Remember, when people vote, they don't, it's usually president, because in off season, when we're not voting for president, there are
Hmm.
less people that vote, right?
Hmm.
Because that's all that they see is that we're
Okay.
voting for a president when they don't know that the school board affects them way more than the
Yeah.
president.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is your community, this is your city, your children that all these things are being done to
Yeah.
or not done to.
Yeah.
So they don't even think of that. I mean, when I was a lot younger, I used to see that insurance commissioner and some of these others, and I go, I don't know, I don't care. Oh, that one's been there.
Exactly. I used to do the
And you
same
just
thing.
do
Yeah.
it. So I think that should be something that instead of having all of these, I can't even say the things they teach kids in school, but maybe we should have something that they could actually benefit from, like learning how the government works.
Hmm.
If we had classes on that, then I think voting would change.
I think it depends on the schools because my daughter, when she was in high school, they did a mock presidential campaign and she was the campaign manager and they did a whole video and
But I'm
so I
thinking
think it
about
depends.
explaining exactly from even to the librarian. Isn't that on there sometimes? Low level positions that we don't even think about.
I don't think librarian is
Solano.
low level.
Okay.
I
Well,
aspire
I
to
mean,
be one day.
as far uh, as voting is concerned,
Yeah, yeah.
you aspire to be one. I have a quick story. My nephew,
Oh God.
who is quite lazy,
Hmm.
he says he's only 15,
Hmm.
and I said, so Isaiah, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he said, I said, what kind of job do you want? He goes, I was thinking about a librarian, and I thought, wow, librarian,
Hmm.
where'd that come from? I said, why would you decide that? He goes, I just thought about it. Doesn't look like they do much work. You don't have to work hard. I said,
Oh my gosh.
I know
Right.
that is kind of funny, but
Right.
hey, from
Right.
a lazy person, hey,
Well, at least he's thinking about working.
hey,
You
that's
know,
right.
it's absolutely crazy. But we got to find a way to get people engaged. I know we're going to
But I still
start.
think it should be in schools where you start with the school
Yeah.
boards, talking to them about things that affect them directly.
Sure.
And that would be from their city to their county
Sure.
and state.
Yeah. Okay, I can eat that. I can subscribe to that, but it's almost lost. I mean, it's important for them to
Like
know.
what those jobs are for.
Yeah.
They don't even know. If you say insurance commissioner,
Well, their
nobody knows.
parents don't know. How do they know?
That's what I'm
Their
saying.
parents don't know
So
anything.
that's why we need to start teaching that in school. So then you know how that's going to affect you.
Right, right. Very interesting. Well, you know what? Listen, maybe that's something we'll
But that's
do.
for another year.
I mean,
Another shoot,
well,
I'll
we've got
probably
an
be dead
election.
and gone by the time that.
We have an election coming up in 2026. California governors. That's one of the most important.
Bye, Newsom. But he wants
Well,
to be
well, he's
president.
termed out,
Yeah,
so that's why he's going
he
away.
might
Other
try
than
to
that,
sneak through the back door.
um, mostly everybody running is Democrat, which is okay. Which is
Well,
okay.
that's all that runs in this state
No, that's
because
not true. We've had Republican. Arnold
right. But here's
Schwarzenegger
the
was
thing.
Republican.
Well, that was like 100 years ago. But here's the thing.
Wasn't great. Who was it? Gray Davis wasn't he? He's a Republican. He was a
That
Republican.
was 100 years ago.
Okay.
His kids are great grandkids.
And he was recalled. See, we believe in a recall.
But what is it called when you have decades? Is it a trifecta state? When you have the same party running everything for ever and ever. We have a Democrat and we have a Republican in the main elections for just about everything, right? President, Senate, everything. But in California, we don't have that. We have the top two. So if you're always in power, then no other side of the story can get in.
And they just changed the law with the last 2024 election where, remember, no, when did you run?
24.
Okay. Where, that's right, where the primaries, you could only vote for your party. So you couldn't even jump across party lines. Like, I don't vote. I'm an independent. I'm a very conservative independent. And I might vote for a Republican. My ballot looks like Disneyland because I got everybody I'm voting for.
But I don't care. If you vote for your party and your party has the least amount of people in it as opposed to another one, if they're picking the top two, then you and I are both Democrats and we get most of the votes. So then we're going to be on the ballot.
Well, who's mad at that?
I think it should be like it is everywhere else. One from every side, even if it's independent.
No, that was Robert F. Kennedy was on the ballot.
I said it should be. I'm talking about in California. I'm not talking.
He was on the California ballot.
But still, yeah, he was on the ballot. But when it goes to the final,
he was all the way on the ballot to November.
Okay,
you didn't see him?
I saw him on there. He was an independent.
So I was just trying to understand in these few minutes.
I'm saying if you're running for governor,
okay,
and typically in most states there's a Republican and a Democrat.
Land this plane, girl. Land this plane.
There's a Republican and a Democrat, right? That's what we normally see.
That's correct.
And you see that. But here, it's my understanding that it's the top two vote getters that go to the finish line. So if we're running off in a
true.
So why is there never anybody but two Democrats running against each other?
That's marketing and strategy. Like, you can't be mad at the Democrats because they got good marketing and strategy. The Republicans don't.
That's true.
I mean, they got
Republicans. You better come on out and start doing some of that sneaky stuff.
Well, I'm not a Republican, so listen. Well,
Independents,
they are
doing.
They're doing plenty of sneaky stuff. Trust.
Well, you better learn the game.
All the way on the ballot.
Infiltrate.
Anybody could have voted for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and made him president. This is the difference between who wins and who doesn't. And it has to do with party. You win based upon your party's ability to get you across the finish line. I am not a Democrat. I don't hate Democrats. I don't like Democrats. I don't care. I'm not one the other.
I like the
But my point is this. My point is this. Is that no, you don't, because you go predominantly with Republican.
Because I don't like those policies.
Okay, she's ridiculous. Lord have mercy. But my point is this:
don't make us fight up in here, girl. It's just, what you say? Oh no, we got to take this offline. Is there a commercial break coming up?
Now, be that as it may.
Okay.
But what it
if
is,
you see her with a black eye afterwards,
you will never see that. Don't even look for it.
Okay.
But be that as it is, it comes down to who has the best marketing and strategy.
I will agree.
And Republicans run on a lot of hate and anger and aggression and so-called moral values. I don't know what your moral values are, so I'm not following that crap. That's why you have more no party preferences and you have more independents that don't even know because they don't want the mantra of whatever.
Right.
But the Dems have done a good job of creating a strategic plan, and they
Except for
followed
the
it.
last, now they're trying to regroup. So
Well, but be that as it may. So anyway, so it comes down to that, but it's not. It's whoever's on the ballot. Robert F. Kennedy could have never won because he didn't
no,
have a party behind him. You got to
sure.
have a party. But listen,
I
we're
would have
coming
voted for it.
down. I did. I was definitely was going to vote for him until he left the race. Then what would I give you a vote for? But anyway, going all the way, we're getting ready to close up shop here. I want to remind everybody that we are giving away a family 4-pack to California State Fair. The State Fair is taking place in July in the city of beautiful Sacramento. So remember, email me at tamuri@power88.
Remember that email.
Well, they can't. You talked over it. It's
Say it again.
tamuri@power88.fm. That's tamuri@power88.fm. And tell me why you and your family should win a 4-pack to California State Fair. So I want to thank my wonderful co-host, Wanda Wallis.
And you love Wanda could be one that gets you over there.
Okay, she really couldn't. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us again. This is TeeTalk, a global vibe. This is a beautiful Saturday morning. Family members, entrepreneurs, get your family out. Enjoy Saturday. Don't make it all about working. Make sure you're spending time together. And we are on Power88.fm live, and we're also on iHeartRadio on Live 365.
And we're getting ready to sign off here so she can get her whipping.
Right. We will see you next week. And you guys enjoy your weekend and have a great day. Goodbye.
Bye.
I got to find a better way to sign off.